This is Toyota's bread and butter, TRD Pro. And you can really see it because they pour everything they have into this truck. I borrowed it from Karl Malone Toyota here in Draper, Utah. Be sure to ask for Lex for availability. Let's go ahead and check out the window sticker so you guys can see options and features on this build. You guys will see here the description for this Tacoma. It's gonna have the black roof with the mud bath paint. And then here is a short listing of the standard equipment. Be sure to pause to see more. And as far as the options go, it just has the bed scene lighting for $599. Destination comes in at $1495. You guys see the base price with a total price of $65,829. And then here are the few comment numbers off to the side. So here is the front end of this TRD Pro. Better ground clearance, and you get a light bar built into the grille. Unfortunately, you cannot turn the fog lights on with it though. You have to have it in a high beam setting and then they come on. Premium lighting up front. And I'm telling you, this mud bath color, this is it right here. This is how I would build mine for sure. Not sure if you guys could tell, but the red recovery hooks down below right there. You have front parking sensors. They do give you a slightly different design for the headlights. It does say TRD Pro. It looks like that illuminates too. That's pretty cool. It illuminates. A little bit of plastic trimming in the center. You can see that TRD skid plate too. Looks good. Adaptive cruise control front camera, which is going to be useful for the trails. Rigid fog lights. And anyone want to guess, is that functional? I'm pretty sure it's not, but we'll check anyways in a second. Let's go ahead and check out the front suspension. So this is what you get when you get a TRD Pro. Fox shock. It's going to have a 2.5-inch body, and that upper control arm is going to be aluminum. You can see it's stamped with TRD. That lower control arm is going to be steel, which is probably a good thing if you really do plan on taking this off-road. Now that QS3 stands for Quick Switch 3. So there is 3 different settings with this suspension. So there's the switch for it. You can turn it and you can adjust the dampening on the shock absorber. Aluminum control arm right there, you guys can see. And this does have a 1-inch increase for the ride height up front only, and I'll let you guys know what it is out back here in a second. Let's go ahead and check out the other side. Now you guys see the stabilizer bar, right? I was wondering if this did have a stabilizer disconnect, and to my surprise it does. I know that the Trail Hunter does because it has the Old Man Emu suspension, and that's going to be a suspension more for having a disconnect up front. This is more of like a Baja truck. That's more of like a rock climbing truck in my opinion. And here's just the other side of that suspension too. And here are the tires. So here's the biggest letdown with the TRD Pro. It's got to be the tires. These are the Goodyear Wrangler Territory RTs, and they're a decent tire. I've driven these in the past. So 265/70/18. That's basically 32.6 inches tall, 10.4 inches wide. That 4Runner right there, that's a TRD off-road. It costs about 57 grand. Has the exact same tire size as what you see on this Tacoma, which costs close to 70 grand. 6 lug. And in case you care to see the capacity on the tires, it's going to be 2,756 pounds at 51 PSI. They do provide a fabric material in here for the wheel well, which should be easy to clean out mud. They paint the fender flares, mirror caps, and door handles like that in that high gloss to match the roof, which I like too. Looks super good. I'm not sure if you guys can tell. Looks to have some rock rails right here. And they do install these on the cab. Now on the Toyota Land Cruiser, they do put the rock rails on the frame, and I do like the way they do that on that one. Turn signals, cameras on the mirrors, and you only have smart key system only on the front doors. And you guys see that roof finished in that high gloss paint. Now you guys can see that lighting, which was an option on the sides. Dual exhaust right here. Now it's just a single exit with a dual exhaust tip. And check out your bumpers. These are steel through ARB. And it looks like you can add some lights here aftermarket. LED license plate lights, red recovery hooks. And they do install those on that receiver hitch too, which is nice. You probably can lift the truck up from this point if you need to change a tire. Now, here is a matching wheel and tire, which is a nice thing. Solid rear axle with the locker. And let me see if I can show you guys the Fox shocks out back, because these are slightly different here. So you guys see right here, they do have some protection, but this is a external reservoir right there. I can't really show it to you guys, but yeah, external reservoir. I don't think that these are adjustable out back. And you guys can see right here that Fox poking out up top. Really overbuilt suspension. And this truck does have 2 bump stops as well. Full LED tail lights. They do stamp TRD Pro out back. You have a backup camera and a light. 7 and 4 pin if you plan on towing a trailer. And there is a button right here. Puts down the tailgate. There's also a button on this side too. And let's check out some of the goodies you get. So they give you some power plugs, 12 volt and USBs, bed lights. You have 2 cameras above, right there. One for bed view, one for the rearview mirror. Power sliding glass. 2400 watts of power, 120 volt power plug. And a little bit of storage. Yeah, this is definitely a nice truck for sure. Love the bed. It was a composite bed. And if you want to put this up, you can just use your knee. Let's go ahead and pop the hood. By the way, those lights are also on this side of the bed too. So this is the only powertrain available for the TRD Pro, which is this 2.4 liter inline 4 turbocharged engine with a hybrid system known as the iForce Max. This engine puts out 323 horsepower, which comes on around 6,000 RPMs, and 465 pound-feet of torque, which comes on around a low 1,700 RPMs. Insane. Now this one does have the cold air intake right here. Don't know why they couldn't use that hood scoop. Just saying, I mean, I don't understand why they couldn't incorporate that, but you do get some air and through this way here. And look at how this connects with that intake system too. So I'm pretty sure you can do an upgrade on your non-TRD Pro if you want that same system there. This is port and direct injection, and all the power that I mentioned does go through an 8-speed transmission. Let's go ahead and check out the interior. This is where the TRD Pro is a home run. The interior. They do dress it up really nicely with this leather wrapping on the door. They give you that TRD Pro badge right here. And this looks to be carbon fiber, but it's not. Auto up and down for the front windows. Decent storage down below. And this is going to have the JBL sound system, 12-way driver seat, and that is including the lumbar. And then check out the bowstring on these seats. These are race seats. And if you are planning on doing Baja high-speed running in the desert, these are gonna really hug you perfectly. Like the graphics that they give you. Again, more of that design that you saw on the door right there. You don't have adjustable headrests. And look how big those seats are too, by the way. Wow. Yeah, these are nice for sure. Tilt and telescoping steering wheel. They do provide some perforated leather here. Nice red accent at the top. Kind of a flat bottom steering wheel, but not quite. Here's your all-weather floor mats. They say TRD Pro, and you have your sport pedals down there. This is how I turn on that light bar. Here's some of your lighting for the bed here. Just to show you. Turns on all the lights. Out back, you have some auxiliaries. They're probably pre-wired too. You can adjust the headlights up and down because if you plan on putting a lot of gear, Toyotas love to squat too. No heads-up display. Let's go ahead and check out the passenger side. Wow, even on this side, 12-way seat. Now adjusting the seat back is manual. More of that leather wrapping here. Has a nice feel to it too. This is soft open. Open storage right here. Type-C USB off to the side of this 14-inch display. There is a portable speaker. They only have a grab handle up front on this side for the passenger. Black liner, and they give you a nicer material for the roof for these higher trim levels. There you go. Hopefully you can see that a little bit better. Grab handle. Not on that side, however. Out back. Look at those seats. Oh my gosh. That is insane. Is that an air compressor? It sure is. That is, wow. That is insane. I've never seen a TRD Pro in person, so this is my first time actually seeing this. That is, yeah, that's something right there. And then, if you want to put the seat down, you can. Let's just put this one down for now. A little bit of storage down there. And as I said, that's a power glass with defrost. You have some cup holders up here. Cap bottles only. 2400 watts of power, 2 Type-C USBs. No air vents back here though. But yeah, one more time. I may have to look into this in the future. That is awesome. And it's on both sides. Okay, so I'm glad I looked it up because I saw it on both sides. I'm like, there's no way this is just for airing up the tires. But this is the isodynamic seats. So this basically changes the dampening for the seats. So I'm assuming if you're going really fast, like I said, off-road, because this is a Baja truck, you can adjust the seats for the dampening. So this is in the locked position, and this is twist off right here. And so you can basically get the manual air pump that comes with the truck to add air to your seats, basically. So that's a pretty cool system. That is really awesome. So here's that 12.3-inch display right there. If you put it in reverse, here's your camera system. You have tons of different views that you can select here. Bed view. Here's the other camera above. And I didn't mention earlier, but the rear has a 1/2 inch ride height increase with the suspension. Here's your off-road cameras here. Now this one does have dual climate control, heated and ventilated seats, wireless charger, Type-C, USBs with a 12-volt right there. Electronic parking brake, hold function for if you're at a stoplight. You have tow haul mode, you have just 3 drive modes. That's a little bit of a letdown. I'm surprised they don't have like a Baja, but I guess you do adjust the suspension manually, so that kind of acts as your other drive modes, right? Here's all your trailering. This is for your camera again. This is your locker for the rear. So I guess it doesn't have a locker up front though, which would be nice. Stabilizer bar disconnect is right here. You have your cup holders. And this is a nicer material compared to some of the other trim levels. Now just above, place here for your sunshades, LED interior lights, and if you want to slide that rear glass, buttons right there. vanity with the light, and this does slide. Here's that sunroof above. Yeah, this is such a nice truck, guys. I think that for some people this is like a lot of money, but I understand why people spend it because it gives you so many nice features. So I'm back the next day. This is available for sale. Be sure to ask for Lex, and they did clean it off really good, so you guys can see this paint. There looks to be a little bit of flake in there. I don't know if you guys can see it. Maybe if I come this way. But it's a really nice paint color for sure. So here are the numbers on the door here. The front gross axle rating is 3,570 pounds. The rear is going to be 3,475 pounds. Gross vehicle weight rating is going to be 6,780 pounds. The wheels are going to be 18 by 8.5 wide. And here is that yellow sticker showing you the payload is 1,200 minus just 1 pound. So 1,199 pounds of payload. That ain't bad at all. 30 psi all the way around for the tires, which is why these ride so good too. Hope you guys liked the video. This was a fun one for me. I mean, I've never had a chance to do a review on a TRD Pro, and I understand why people love these trucks. They have a lot of nice features. That isodynamic seat option is really cool. But yeah, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Maybe I'll have a chance in the future to drive one of these to kind of give you a feel for those seats. That'd be really cool to test out in the future. Later.